Hello. We are officially live. That happened a little bit faster than I thought it would, than it normally does. But hello, I'm going to give us a second for you all to pop into the live stream and welcome you as you come on. Thanks so much for spending your Tuesday afternoon with me in this series that I've been doing. So, we have been doing a Black Women in Leadership series. And I believe this is maybe the eighth video where we've been unpacking tools, resources, myths, and ways in which Black women founders and leaders can accelerate faster in their careers and grow in their ability to influence and lead in teams. But also, how do you market yourself? How do you build your personal and professional brand to grow as a thought leader? So, I really enjoyed the series. I've enjoyed the feedback, the conversations that I've started having with many of you, and just the ways that it is allowing for us to all show up fully and be seen. So thank you for sharing this space with me. I'm going to go ahead and get us started. I am Carlisha Bradley. I am the founder and CEO of Amplify for Women. I'm a high performance women's leadership coach, and I am extremely passionate about supporting women and especially Black women founders and leaders in amplifying their voices, accelerating their careers, and building their brands to become paid public speakers and industry trailblazers. So today we are going to jump right in. We're talking about a topic. Of course, I'm talking to you about this in December. It's the end of the year. And hopefully, the information that I'm providing to you, if you're not doing these things already, we know how to start off the year strong. Because one of the things that I said in the tagline where I was advertising this live is that if you are waiting to ask for feedback or receive feedback during performance review season, it's too late. Like, you are at a disadvantage if you are waiting that long to receive feedback. And I know that oftentimes there's this fear in behind the word feedback, right? A lot of people automatically assume that that's negative, that it's constructive criticism, tools for you to grow. But I really believe that feedback can be a meaningful conversation. And hopefully, from what we unpack today, I will be able to teach you how to utilize feedback, especially if you are a leader of leaders and you are managing teams and influencing organizations. We need feedback more than anybody. But early in my executive leadership journey, I've shared this in other places, but I started my path as an executive leader at a very young age. I was in my 20s, and my career just jumped, went from here to there very, very fast. I talk about this a bit in the video when I talk about what got you here won't get you there. So a lot of us, we get into the C-suite, or we are now a founder of a company, and we've been used to being the individual contributor. You've been used to knocking things out of the park, getting praise and feedback. And now you're sitting in a seat where the feedback isn't always praise, and it's definitely not always pretty. I had to learn how to channel my own emotions because I'm human. You're human. We all have emotions and reactions to feedback, but also to think about how, what my grandma used to say, she said, to eat the chicken and throw away the bone. How do you assess and walk through feedback to pull what is useful for growth and development of you, of your organization, of your team, and also throw away the things that that was a little bit of shade or a microaggression. Been there, done that, have seen a lot of feedback in my time, and I've processed it so much differently as I've continued to grow. So the number one reason why you need to be asking for feedback, and you need it often, and you need to not be waiting until it's performance review season, until it's the end of the year and it's time for your end of year bonuses, all of those things. You need feedback early and often to be able to have the opportunity to ding, 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 course correct, right? There is nothing like, and if I have some wives who are watching, you can tell me if you agree with this. There's nothing like sending your husband to the grocery store with a list and him having a question on one of the items, but he didn't reach out to ask you. if he had a question on that item. And he comes home with something that wasn't what I wanted. If you would have just asked me, I would have told you to get the right thing. Do any of you relate to that? Can you relate to that? A lot of times when we're leading organizations or you're working in companies, you're going to the grocery store, you're going down the list, and it's time to check out. It's time for the performance reviews at the end of the year, and you did not put the right items in the basket, and you're just now learning about it when you got home versus having that chance to fix it and to do better and to grow. The second piece of why it is so important for us as Black women, as leaders, as founders, to be asking for feedback and to get it early and often is because it allows for us to paint perspective on our blind spots and to see through the layers. So, one thing that I coach my executive clients on are ways that you can capture and collect feedback from members of your team. And I'm not just talking about like, oh, send them a survey, but how do you do this both formally? Because the quantitative numbers and the data tracking matters, and informally, in the ability to build relationships and connections, to have your ear in several different places as a leader of an organization. It is critical to be able to capture the insight from team members because in the C-suite, in an executive role, or even as a founder and you're working with contractors in various spaces, we are so consumed in the day-to-day of what is required of us to lead. Sometimes when you are in the C-suite or you're a founder, especially you're the CFO, the CMO, the CEO, you're all of the O's, right? Because you are requiring so much of yourself to be able to lead at this level that sometimes we forget about these moments that allow for us to continue to keep our ear to the ground, to understand what's happening, and to be able to pivot as needed based on the feedback and assessment from members who are most proximate to the challenges that your business is working to solve. The third reason that you need to be seeking feedback early, often, all throughout the year is because you should always be recruiting your team. You should always be recruiting your team. It's not just in the end of year conversation, talking about where you see them in 5 years, but when you're getting that feedback, when you are growing and developing them and giving the feedback to support them to grow as leaders on their own journey, it shows your investment in their leadership ability, your investment in them growing to be the best possible leader within your company. I think that, a lot of times you can use feedback to truly guide you on what is the type of appreciation, what are the needs of the members of your team, so that you can take the organization to the next level and drive greater results. It requires those critical conversations, sometimes uncomfortable, when you're not only giving the feedback, but you're getting it, asking how can I improve? How can I best support you? How can you leverage the skill sets that I bring to the organization to support your professional journey? How are you making yourself available to learn more about the members of your team, but also to learn, where do you feel like I'm falling short as a leader? Where should I be spending more time? What have I missed in my communication that you think is important for me to focus on in the next 30, 60, 90 days? How often are you going to receive insight from leaders that are within your organization? I know that we think that the pizza party, the Starbucks gift card, the company blanket is cute. It's really cute. But if you're truly looking to recruit and develop and to grow in relationship with your team, it requires the conversations to receive the two-way feedback. And so, my last reason why you should be seeking feedback early and often, and this one I will say is one that I feel like a lot of people don't think about when you're in the job, when you're in the role, you're doing the work. Again, a lot of us, we've been used to being great individual contributors, head down, do what needs to get done, knock it out the park. Someone's going to give us praise somewhere along the lines, right? And for some of you who have made it into executive leadership and you're used to someone telling you good job, and now you're at the top of the company and the good jobs aren't coming, but the complaints are from people within the organization. How are you able to manage this new seat that you are in? And one thing that I have done, and I strongly, strongly encourage my clients to do, have supported several in building this out, but you need to utilize feedback to build your professional portfolio. You need to utilize the feedback to build your professional portfolio. I know that many of us think, where I'm at right now, I can see myself here. And some of you might not. Some of you might be like, I'm here for one more year and then I'm out. Knowing that, you have to begin thinking about how you market your skills, talents, and abilities. And I'm not just talking about, saving the email that said, hey, good job on the year-end report. I'm talking about how you're able to quantify when you're receiving this feedback and saying what the impact has been that you've been able to bring and deliver to the organization, even when someone might not have given you this feedback, but you're able to capture and document what you have done so that when you get into the conversations that are the year-end evaluations, you're able to speak credibly to the facts and the results that you have garnered throughout the year. This is essential. This is where feedback is a gem. When you can collect all of the information and insight from clients that you have served, from co-workers that you've worked with who have stated in writing, these are the results that you have supported them in driving, just keeping these bits and pieces to continue to build your portfolio. Because what you want, not just, for you to jump into a new career opportunity, but also as you're building your professional brand, as you're taking these tidbits of information from other people, the thing that it allows for us to see for many people is your superpower. How are you setting yourself apart as a leader? What are the trails that you're blazing? And even from the insights that you're getting from other individuals, it also brings into question, how am I leading in alignment to my values? How are my principles standing in the center? One thing that Amplify for Women does for our Elevate cohort, we kick off this cohort experience working to customize the learning path. And we do that by our team providing a 360 assessment for every single one of our cohort members, providing them with insight up, down, and around the folks that are in their org, in the community that they work with, so that they can begin to learn how we support them in processing feedback. How do you utilize this information to curate your own leadership development journey? What's the meat and what are the bones, right? Helping you to pull through what is the information that is critical for you to influence in your team and to lead through the layers, but also what are the gems that are in here that help us to lift up, amplify, and develop our professional brand. So I love starting with that component. I love the ahas that happen. And I'll tell you, my first 360 that I had done on me as an executive leader, boy, oh boy, I remember when I sat with those results. And as a recovering perfectionist now, I can tell you that I cried. I cried when I saw those results. It was a natural reaction. But over that time span that I had in executive coaching and really was able to go back to these results to see my growth and to understand and unlock the layers of how I had to get on the balcony. Many times when we're stepping into executive leadership, we're still in this lane of being focused on these are the results that I have to drive in my role. But truly, executive leadership means we're getting on the balcony. We're looking at the 50,000 foot view of the big picture vision of what does this information mean? How do I process it? And how does it move me closer to my goal of influencing people, my team, and growing this company? So I hope that this information was helpful to you today. If it was, I encourage you to like, comment, and share. Share this with your networks. We're having another session on Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. On Thursday, we're talking about how leadership development programs fail Black women. Plain and simple. It's one of those I said what I said conversations. But I'm not just going to stop there. We are going to unpack for you, how do you assess leadership development opportunities that are a great fit for you? What are the questions you should be asking, especially as a Black woman, founder, or executive leader? What are the things that you should be looking for in these opportunities? And how do you choose where to invest your time, invest your resources, and to grow your opportunities and professional brand? So I can't wait to see you back on Thursday. If you want to learn more about the Elevate cohort, you can comment the word Elevate or DM me the word Elevate. I would love to take the time to get to chat with you and talk about what we're doing at Amplify for Women and how it could be a great fit to support you in the next steps of your leadership journey. I can't wait to see you all on Thursday. Thanks again for joining. Bye.